think I'm ready for the new season. Obviously, you know, I've got a leg of race rhythm. You know, I haven't raced for a while. I was super dominant in 2018, and in 2019, you know, we had high hopes. But obviously, I had a really bad foot injury, and that's been nagging me for the rest of the last 2 years.
I think it's redemption after 2 years for not seeing Jeffrey Herlings' full potential, so...
The last 2 years was bad, but, you know, that's why we try to strike back this year.
Tell him to fight when he needs to fight. He can do it.
Wat gaan we verwachten van de jeugd? Wat kunnen wij verwachten van Jeffrey Herlings?
Heads down, revs up. MXGP race 1 is underway here at Orléans.
When you're getting older, I'm getting 27 in a few months from now. It's different when I was 16, you know? The body takes longer to recover, to heal up, and definitely, you know, the injuries are playing part nowadays. I'm feeling physically good. I'm 100% out of what I can reach for now, but I do feel like I had a bad trauma on my foot one day, and I had a hip dislocation also a few years back. So definitely those two injuries I still feel, but mainly the foot, you know, that's really coming into play. And definitely the healing process and the recovery takes a bit longer, but you know, that's part of getting older and part of racing.
I've never seen anybody more focused, I think, on his sport than Jeffrey does. His whole life is motocross. He needs to live motocross 24 hours a day, only focused on racing.
It's the right one. Okay, it's the right fit.
Yeah, the damaged foot is the right one.
Okay, so with the head there.
Okay.
Thanks. So the scar now is a little bit less.
It's better than it was, yeah.
Okay.
Also, when the temperature's a little bit more hot, like this, it's much better. In the winter, when it's cold,
Okay.
I feel it a bit more. But now when it's hot, like, it's much better.
Okay. And now running, it's not a problem.
I cannot run.
You can't?
No.
Ah, okay.
But I think, especially because also my foot doesn't move, so when I want to run, your foot needs to move a bit, and it doesn't want, like,
Okay.
it's not possible. I could make a sprint from like 100 meters maybe, but not like a few kilometers, that's not.
For long distance.
Yeah.
Jeffrey came to us, he was very young. I remember that many people talk about this boy that was super talented kid from Holland. And then when we get to know and work together, oh, yo. I went to so many hospitals with him, and many times those moments were not so funny. And in these years, he grew a lot.
I don't crash so often, I barely crash, but when I crash, I get injured really quick. We noticed that I was really stiff, and so we try to really put stretching in our program like 2 or 3 times a week for half an hour, maybe an hour, to try to get more flexible and hopefully to keep the injuries away. But in this sport, you know, it's hard to keep away from injuries, but, you know, we try to take every 1% we can.
11:27 die TV-compound, maar we gaan nu naar die PCR-test. Om 12 uur die family-foto, full gear. En dan ga ik de technische controle van uw helm en uw body protector nog doen. Hier is de baan, hè? Hier achter die berg.
Hey, Serge! Hey, hey, good, you? Good.
Morning.
Hello.
Next guest, Jeffrey Herlings. Good to see you. How good is it to be back in the paddock?
Yeah, it's been a while. You know, obviously, end of last year I had an injury, but you know, since November there hasn't been any racing really even going on, so due to the coronavirus. But happy to be back, to be healthy, and to get back to racing tomorrow.
And just really quick, a new venue for the Dutch Grand Prix, Os.
Yeah.
A place you know well, I assume?
Yeah, you know, also it's a good place. You know, I did a media session there a few weeks back, and the track was mint. So hopefully it's going to be nice and rough. So yeah, going to be excited.
Iets naar achter. 2 starts, hè. Even één te kijken en dan komt het terug. Nee, we zijn gewoon trainingsdag vandaag. We gaan geen stunten uithalen. Maximum 30, prefer 34 than 35. But you can count out with the lap. Uw kuit er goed in, aan de binnenkant. Motor recht. Even 15. Yo! What are we doing? Come up! Come up! Ah! I think he's very ready. I think physically he's better than last year. I think mentally it's very important and just get through the first couple races healthy. And I think everyone in this motocross community knows when Jeffrey Herlings shows up at all 20 races, he's pretty hard to beat. No one ever done that. So this weekend, yes, France, Ernay, proper GP track, last warm-up race before the first GP. For us, quite important because we had 2 rough years with injuries, so Jeffrey didn't race a whole lot, so we need that race rhythm to get ready. The main 3 competitors that Jeffrey will have to beat the most, they won't be there. Geiser, Cairoli and Prado. It's just a stepping stone towards the first GP. Hope to gain some confidence and some good race rhythm. Head to Russia, show what we got. Ik hoop dat morgen goed gaat. We hebben ook vanaf 10 september geen Grand Prix meer gereden. Dus gestopt met een blessure, nooit leuk. Het is maar de eerste wedstrijd van 20, dus op zich niks aan de hand. Maar je hebt zo lang en hard gewerkt, dan wil je toch resultaat zien. He still cased the jumps a bit. Like it was not perfect. It was good, but
A bit further,
yeah,
it's more flowing.
0.5. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Kijk nog eens naar de tijd van Geiser. Yeah, so very positive morning. He did the fastest lap, so qualified first. So first gate pick. It's not very important here, but I think mentally it's very nice to start the day like that, and very excited for 2 good motos today. Goed 2 of 3 jaar. Dat is moeilijk te zeggen waar je de meeste grip gaat halen. Want als je in een droge rommel staat met stenen, dan gaat het ook niet vooruit, hè.
The relationship with Ruben actually started in the end of 2009, so we basically worked for 12, 13 years together now, and he started as a practice mechanic, and he was very motivated at that time already, and he gets more motivated the older he gets, it seems like. So, you know, he helps me out with a lot of things in my sport, and also, you know, one point, you know, the friendship goes further. So, yeah, he's a big part of my career so far, and still is. Dat is een safe risico. Ja, als je helemaal verneukt dat het met een 15 wegschiet. Echt verneukt.
Je gaat het niet verneuken, hè? Komt goed, jong. Geen stress.
mxgp race 1 is underway here in Monaco.
5 laps to go, 100%. P4.
Herlings already around the outside and into 4th place.
Average race and 4th, not so bad.
But for the points was not so bad. Red GP 9 months.
Ze raakten met de start niet.
Tony sneeuwt hem iets af.
Ja, met Tony, hè.
Geiser pakte iedereen bergop voor de pitlane. Die reed rechts op de kant, die hing 4. En die accelereert en die pakt jullie alle, die pakt Cairoli en Prado. Nee, Cairoli en Prado in één keer. Die reed rechts op de kant en die haperde ene en buitenkant allebei voorbij. But good. We build from here.
Some guy next to me just cut me off a little bit. I don't think he did it on purpose, but he cut me a bit off, and then I was a little bit more backwards in the pack, and I was around 10th. Managed to work my way up to 4th, but that first moto was decent. Wasn't good, wasn't bad. Was just average moto.
Ready for Jeffrey Herlings, focusing as always, hoping to improve on 4th in race 1. Mistake from Herlings, back end comes around on him, hands the lead and a handful of places to Cairoli, Jonas and Fevra. We have a new leader here on lap 2.
Come on, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, big thumbs up. He's pushing, he's trying to make some.
Oh, Cairoli's off on the finish line as well. So Jeffrey Herlings now into 2nd place. 2nd in the race, 2nd overall.
My start was good. I think it was a good start, but it wasn't a great start. So I went in the turn like 4th, 5th, and I just turned inside, and I came out with a whole shot. I was like, oh yeah, boys, let's go racing now. And then, yeah, I was leading for a few laps, and then my rear wheel spin out on a stone going through a turn, and I tipped over, and I lost a few positions, so I was back and forth. And from there on, I just kept riding and worked my way up to 2nd eventually. You know, some riders went down, one guy passed me, but I think a 4 and a 2nd for 2nd overall was a decent day for this track. This track means a lot because this track is where it all started. Yeah, I remember I would start all the way on there, like 65, lean to the back, and I would freaking take off like, yeah, this thing is like 25 meters, but on a 65 when you're 8 years old, it's like, where's that kid going to, you know? So yeah, that was, at that time was huge, that jump, yeah.